My old coworker said my swimwear is inappropriate, so I told her off.
Oh, it's because you don't look hot in your stuff?
I looking fine right now. I, 26 female, work for an amazing small engineering company, but I've always had an issue with a woman named Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Cheryl is a holdover office manager from when the current owner's dad founded the company, and the company is her queendom.
Nepotism.
We love Nepo babies. By the way, this comes from user DaffDadDM on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, I actually feel very sorry for her because she's divorced. Her kids don't speak with her, and I think the company's the only thing that she has going on in her life. She's like a grandma to the current owner, but he has admitted that he can't wait until she retires because she is overbearing with him too. The company had an amazing year, and our owner decided that we were essentially going to shut down for the month of June. And he was going to host an optional retreat in Mexico where he would pay for all food, drinks, and accommodations, but we had to pay for our own plane ticket?
Done.
When I found out Cheryl was not planning on going, I could not sign up fast enough. I flew down with a friend/coworker, and the second we got our bags, put it away, it was bikinis on and straight to the swim-up bar. On the way down the hallway, we ran smack into Cheryl! We tried to be pleasant, but she looked me up and down like I was dressed like a streetwalker, and she looked so disgusted. She was just jealous. My friend and I walked along smirking that we weren't in the queendom and made jokes about finding Cheryl, a nice man, so she'd either get spicy sleep or... By the time we got to the pool, Cheryl has sent out a group text reminding us that we were on a work trip and we should choose our outfits to reflect the prestige of the company paying for the trip. We could not stop laughing, and we agreed that our best bet was to avoid Cheryl for the week. When we were on our way back to the room, Cheryl intercepted us in the hallway. She seriously must have been staring out her peephole, waiting on us. And she said that when she sent the group text, she meant that I should change out of that immediately. She said while pointing basically at my butt. Nice. I said I was sorry, Cheryl, but this isn't a work trip, and my bikini was totally appropriate for the resort. She said, we are a company founded on Christian principles, and we should dress as such. I suck so bad at confrontation, and this was one of those things where 5 minutes after I had a million witty things to say, but all I could come up with was that I will wear a sarong in the hotel, but this is all I brought for the pool and beach. She said, you get paid well enough. Go buy something more appropriate. The get paid enough comment made me see red because that is so none of her business. And I worked my butt off through a male-dominated field and crap jobs and took a huge risk to work for a small company because I wanted a job that cared about me. I told her, Cheryl, I hate confrontation, but you can go F yourself. That was so out of line.
Whoa. All right.
For the first time since I've met Cheryl, she was actually speechless and just turned around and went in her room and closed the door.
Because probably no one ever told her off in her
It's in her queendom, yeah.
whole life.
In her queendom, no one's going to tell Cheryl to shut up. My friend thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen and said she was so proud of me for sticking up for myself. Initially, I felt good about it too, but ever since yesterday, I'm just wrecked with guilt and I feel like a major a-hole. I feel like there were a million other ways I could have handled it, and I should have not let Cheryl see that she upset me. She's a very lonely person, and though I don't like her, I don't need to say such cruel things to her. I feel like an a-hole. Am I the a-hole? There is an edit.
Ooh, I don't think you should put that she's a very lonely person and stuff on you. It's understandable why you feel guilty. I don't know, but honestly, I'd say you could have handled it a little bit better. She came up on you. She did attack you.
Cheryl is definitely being out of line. 100%.
Oh, yeah. It was good of you to confront her. Better word choice.
Better word choice, but again, I think you're just, so many emotions are going through your head.
Yeah.
You can't think. I get it.
If we could rewind and do it over again, we could. But if we can't rewind, you're good, girl.
I do think a confrontation and an apology from OP to be like, Cheryl, listen, I didn't mean to, like, that was out of line, but again, you were out of line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Let's let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Like, let's enjoy this trip. The last thing you want to do is be upset in Mexico. Yeah, come on. Edit. For the people asking, my swimsuit was from a company called Coco. They really only make one style, and I guess it's probably best described as cheeky, and not really a thong, but they do have a tendency to ride up the butt since I have wider hips. Yes, my cheeks were visible, but it was far from dental floss. So yeah, you were wearing a swimsuit. and maybe you just have a nice butt. Edit 2. Wow, people are really focused on the swimwear. I do have pics of the swimsuit on me when I was tubing with my family last weekend on my Instagram, but not sure if that's safe to send out on a link. No, never do that. This is my first ever post on a sub like this, so I guess, can I get some input on that?
If anyone's wondering what it is, look it up on yourself like we just did.
We did it, and it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no.
It's cute. Again, if you got cheeks,
it works.
It will make your cheeks look nice.
Keon will look great in it.
I probably will look so good in that. Also, my friend actually had on a one piece, but it's a full-on thong. Very cute on her, but she didn't get the same look from Cheryl because she had a cover up on her bottom when we were in the hotel. So she had a towel on. Okay. Edit 3. I had zero idea this would blow up the way it did, and I had no idea this would get so much internet snark. Please keep in mind, I tried to post this originally on the other Am I the A-hole sub, but they have a word limit, so I had to come up with some word economy, and even then, didn't make it. So I posted here. Some of the things I wish I could have included in the original. This is not a work trip. In fact, the Evite said specifically, it's not a work trip. It's tangible bonus for a job well done this year. There is no mention of a dress code, and I am dressed well in line with other women at the resort. In fact, some are way more scantily dressed than me. The resort is huge, and I would guess there are probably 2,000 plus guests total. I think maybe 10 people from our office are coming, plus some families and kids. There are no dinners, events, meetings, hangouts, or obligations. So no way could this be considered a work trip.
Because I thought it was like, my other thought process, small company, it's probably like 10 of you there, it's a small resort, you guys are like, oh, we're going to get dinner this day.
I feel like maybe on the Evite, it was like, oh, if you guys want to do a dinner, let's do a dinner. But like
you can get lost in the resort and no one would probably see you for a week.
Yeah. Okay, great. This is for you guys doing a job well done. It's on the company. It's on the boss. And it's like not sponsored by the company. It's like, if you want to go, just pay for your ticket, have fun. You deserve it.
Yeah. Interesting. She was specifically targeting you as well instead of the friend.
Another point. I wish I could have been more clear about the company closing for the month. We aren't closed, but have no projects due until mid-July. And we all have the option to work from home, take time for graduations and vacations. This hasn't happened in the 3 years I've been here, and I don't think it will happen again, but it's been really nice. The trip to Mexico is also not a month long, it's up to a week, centered around yesterday to Saturday. But you know what you can do 7 days a week? You can join us live, 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. Just tap it.
Yeah, Cheryl, come on, girl. You're little line.
The fact that this is not stamped like this is a work trip, it's like, no, this is a trip paid for by work.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You guys did a job well done. Go have fun. I think Cheryl needs to, again, OP said, mind her own business. But again, the way you went about it with Cheryl, like I said, let bygones be bygones and apologize. Even the manager or the boss or whatever of the company was like, I can't wait for her to go.
Oh, man.
Because Cheryl is just like so overbearing.
Oh, boy.
Just, yeah, she's an older woman and doesn't have, seems like not many friends or doesn't do much. So I get it. She's just a little like on the line of just like, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So I just think you're not the a-hole OP, but just be like, hey, let's talk this out. I am not a mean high schooler. I'm actually very, very shy and bookish. I am probably considered pretty, but it took me a long time to see myself as such. I was a swimmer in high school, and it took me years, well after college in fact, to even try on a bikini. I decided last year I liked the cheeky look because it's probably more common than not where we go tubing on the weekends. The part about getting Cheryl spicy sleep or kidnapped was a total joke, and we meant no harm. It was only between the two of us. It really surprises me people are so hung up on that, and I find it hard to believe that most of everyone hasn't made a similar sort of joke about a frustrating coworker. I say this about Riley all the time. If you haven't, I guess that's good. Gallows humor is huge in the engineering field, and I deal with jokes along those lines all day at work. That is it.
Nice. Yeah, hopefully your trip is funner and you don't have to worry about Cheryl and Cheryl gets loose.
I think Cheryl needs to get loose. Cheryl definitely is, she's there.
I'm pro getting laid for Cheryl.
Oh yeah, help. I think I would go up to Cheryl. I'm like, hey Cheryl, listen, we're in Mexico.
Let's get you laid, girlfriend.
Let's get you some spicy sleep. Let's have some fun. If she's not like that, like, all right, then we're gonna go have fun. You do your own thing. We won't bother you. You won't bother us.
There we go. Easy.
It's a big resort.
Easy money.
You're in Mexico. Come on.
Come on.
Let's let loose. But that's the end of the story, guys.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.